I feel kind of scared right now because the werewolf trailer is about to come out. The Sims team has been hinting about werewolves coming to The Sims 4 for like literally weeks now, and kind of blatantly obvious hints too, like full moons everywhere. They've been hiding creepy eyes in the background of photos. They had a bunch of like encrypted codes on Twitter over the weekend. Like they've made it kind of clear that werewolves are definitely coming, and today it's confirmed because the trailer is officially out. The reason I'm scared is because I don't really know what to expect from how they're gonna look. I've been worrying about this for a while. I just don't know if I trust them to pull it off in a way that is not odd. And unfortunately, I think my fears were a little bit confirmed because there was a leak yesterday. I think the leak is what is supposed to be the cover art, like the picture on the cover for the pack. I'll show it to you after we watch the video, but there's just something about it that feels kind of off to me. I think I was expecting the wolves to look like bigger and maybe like scarier or something. And the one on the cover looks kind of like a regular person in just like a costume. It's like almost a little bit too human looking for my liking, which was what I was kind of worried about. But I'm gonna watch the trailer first before I make any like final calls. It's easier to tell from like actual game footage instead of just like renders and pictures. And the trailer is out, so I want to watch it now. I think I'm gonna play this with the music. I'll probably get copyright strike for this, but I don't really care. I'm like almost too afraid to press play. Okay, let's just do it. Just do it. Here we go. Oh. Oh, it's kind of spooky. Okay, I like this actually. The world looks cool too. Oh. I think I like this trailer a lot, actually. They've been doing a really good job with them recently. We'll go frame by frame later to look at like all the stuff too, don't worry. Oh my gosh. Okay, see, that was better than I was expecting. That looks better than I was expecting. Okay. I'm so curious about the, okay. Ew. Oh, wait, the toddler. Did that one just fall into a hole? Huh. Oh, they're playing tug of war. Okay. I'm impressed they're running like that. I didn't think they would. That makes me feel better too. Oh, wow. Run Wild. June 16th? Oh, that's soon. Oh, wow. Okay. That's the cover I was talking about, by the way. That's the one that I was like, it looks kind of like Scooby-Doo. I don't know about that. Seeing them in the video, I feel a lot better. I have a lot of things that I want to like talk through, so bear with me as I like react to this. I think most importantly, I'm really curious about customization options for these werewolves. Also, like what kind of gameplay to expect. I saw a lot of things like them marking their territory. There was the tug of war, the special werewolf fights. I'm curious about like what sort of interactions the werewolves and vampires might have together. I wonder if this website has any more information. Aha, blog post. Okay, and screenshots. Life on the wild side. What big teeth you'll have. Transform into a werewolf and embrace or fight your animalistic nature. Beyond rocking a fearsome form, werewolf sims will also have unique temperaments and abilities, be affected by the phase of the moon, and experience wolf-specific life events. Okay, so that confirms moon phase is coming then, right? I mean, I figured they would. They kind of showed them transforming in the full moon in the video, but that's a good sign. Alpha or lone wolf. Craft your werewolf identity. Were you bitten or were you born into a werewolf family? However it happened, now you've got to decide what kind of wolf you want to be. Find a pack to prowl the night with, meet your fated mate atop Howling Point, or shun all that and try to make it as a lone wolf. Okay. Lycanthrope lore. There's a lot to learn about werewolves and their origins. Unravel werewolf, vampire, and spellcaster lore as you read books, discover secret tunnels, grow your collection, and interact with denizens of Moonwood Mill. Okay. So that kind of confirms there is at least some sort of lore in game connecting all of the different occult types. I'm like genuinely fascinated by this. I won't lie, I was really worried after seeing this. This particular image. That's what we saw yesterday. And I was like, oh no, 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 please no, that's terrifying. It looks like a human, the way it's like standing up, standing on like regular 2 feet. Maybe like its head is too small. Like it just looks like a person wearing a costume, and that's what worried me. But then like cut straight to this photo. This picture looks way more like a werewolf to me and like kind of how I pictured it in my head. So this immediately I'm like, okay, I feel better. This is way less scary to me. There's also this blog post the Sims Sims team posted. I'll link all of these things down below too if you want to read them yourselves. Embrace the full moon. Unleash your beastly side in the Sims 4 Werewolves game pack. Oh, it's long. Oh, wow. Okay, hang on. This picture of the world is so cool. It looks like you can actually get up there, like up to the top of that. I wonder if that's the entrance to like some sort of secret werewolf world. Kind of like how in Realm of Magic we have like the regular world and then also that like secret space for the spellcasters. Once upon a time, Moonwood Mill was filled with the bustle and sound of the nearby lumber mill. Today, the town is transformed. The rusted shells of its former industry provide cover for a handful of mysterious denizens who've sought out this wilderness-shrouded community, basking in its remote and anonymous nature. They're hinting a lot to like hidden history and secrets you can discover, so I really hope there's like actual lore involved to this pack, like a storyline. Kind of like just how in Tartosa you can like talk to the townspeople for gossip, and they kind of give you like little hints about the families involved. I'd love to see more of that in this pack. During the full moon, you'll notice crescent-shaped Lake Lundvik has a magical shimmer to it, making it the perfect time to catch the elusive Luna fish. Ooh, interesting. Pluck the rare moon petal flower. So there's like special collectibles you can get, or you can delve into the tunnels that run under the town, a network known as the Underground, to try and uncover secrets and find quicker routes. Oh, interesting. Wait, okay. Heed the advice of the locals though. Stay out of Greg's way and you'll be okay. Who's Greg? So here's some more pictures of like what seems to be werewolf customization. It looks like we have a lot of options. I'm really fascinated by the clothing types as well. This one has toenail polish on. I love that. I wonder if it's anything like the pets customization, like the stuff that we have for cats and dogs. I wonder if they kind of tapped into that at all. I'm like actually fascinated by this. You have no idea. I've been thinking about like how the heck are they gonna do this for what feels like months? Like how are they gonna make werewolves in the Sims 4's art style? So I'm just so intrigued by what they've done here. We have a little bit of info on it. So they all start with a beast and a sim form that are linked, kind of like the vampires and stuff. Whichever direction you take, edit their face structure, ears, eyes, tufts, and more. Paint on menacing scars to tell the story of a dramatic fight between opposing pack members, or cover them in silly jellyfish. Paint? Like paint that we have from cats and dogs paint? There's been talk about this because they edited like a text string from the cats and dogs customizer stuff last week in an update. And we were all kind of like, well, if they're gonna be announcing a werewolf pack soon and they're updating text from the cats and dogs stuff, does that mean they're gonna kind of use it again? That's really interesting. Okay, so Moonwood Mill is home to two distinct wolf packs. The Moonwood Collective, a pack of seasoned rustic werewolves, and the Wild Fangs, a scrappy, free-spirited crew. And you can join either one by like visiting their hangout and getting to know them. And once you're on good terms, the pack's alpha may challenge you with a few trials. Interesting. Joining either pack comes with its own obligations, hierarchy, do's, and don'ts. As a member of the pack, you represent something greater than yourself, and someday, if you play your paws right, you might even become the alpha. It seems like there's some really interesting gameplay involved in this. I hope that it's as good as I'm like expecting it to be in my brain. I am a little bit worried given how like the wedding pack went, but I'm really crossing my fingers that it's gonna be better this time. A werewolf can grow their power to unlock new abilities such as running swiftly on all fours, marking their territory, lunar resistance, and even immortality. Okay, so it sounds like it's gonna have a skill tree kind of like vampires do, which I was expecting. And they have a growing number of temperaments. Interesting. Each of which distinguish how that Sim's fury may grow. At all times, a werewolf's fury is growing. Using our powers, sparring, hanging out in beast form, being under the full moon, or doing behavior that conflicts with my temperaments will push fury to increase more quickly. And once maximum fury is reached, a transformation is imminent. Oh, okay. That makes sense. And the lore of Moonwood Mill. Okay, so as we spend more time there, we'll discover hidden knowledge about its magical roots. We can meet with Wolfgang, the local librarian in the center of town, to check out werewolf-themed books, and we can dig around to explore lost books and items. We can interact with locals, and once you get to know them, Christopher, Rory, their pet members will all reveal their own pasts and unique perspectives. You see, I love this. It seems like from day one, they've put a lot of effort in the storyline of like the existing werewolves in town. Back in Cottage Living, it kind of started like this. They've had a lot of hints and stuff kind of hidden around with the townies, and they're definitely doing it again here, and I love that. Head on over to talk with Celine Lopez, the owner of the Grimtooth Bar and Bunker, one of the lots built in partnership with community creator James Turner. Okay, so they did work with creators to build the lots. That makes me feel a lot better too. I would be surprised if they didn't at this point, because for all the packs they keep using like creators to build the lots, but I didn't know for sure, so I'm really glad to know that James built one of these. It makes me feel better. I'm sorry, Sims team, I love you, but I trust James a lot more than you to build things. So there's also Greg, of course, but we don't recommend trying to pry information out of him. You wouldn't want to risk it, right? Who is Greg? Why do they keep talking about Greg? Okay, and there's gonna be like a deep dive live stream on June 10th. That's good to know as well, so mark your calendars. I think I want to scroll back to the trailer again and kind of pause at different frames and look at things things that are coming. For example, this outfit, very cute. This outfit, very cute. We've got some new like graffiti type decals. There's some new windows back there. I wonder if those are actually new windows or if that's like a fake building, because sometimes it's fake building and we don't actually get the windows, but it's interesting. There's a lot of like kind of grungy stuff, like this door that's kind of destroyed. We have this couch. I love that. I always want more of that for building this kind of thing. Vampires too had a lot of things like that, but kind of in a different way. Like vampires had a lot of spider webs and like wall decals for things that are kind of broken down, and I use that all the time, so I think that these things will tie together really well. Also, bright yellow stairs, kind of love that. Okay, but look, we have this like sort of busted mirror. Is that like the vampire portrait but with a scratch through it up in the top corner? Some new workout equipment. It looks like we have some floor cracks too. We only have wall cracks from vampires, so these floor cracks are pretty nice. There's a lake you can swim in, and that's that like cool glistening moon reflection they talked about in the description. Here's a better view of the town. I wonder which of these things are like actual houses and which are fake buildings. And I really wonder how big it is. Like Tartosa had like 9 lots, but then Glimmerbrook had like 4. So I'm really curious to see what this one ends up being like, because most of the game packs have way smaller worlds. But I think the wedding pack had a lot less gameplay, so they had a bigger world to kind of make up for it. Whereas this one has what seems to be, from the description at least, a lot more gameplay. I'm hoping for like 5 or 6 lots at least. Oh god, that kind of scared me. Her showing up there actually scared me. Okay, this part, this I love. I thought they were all just gonna walk on all 4s. I did not expect them to run. I had very, very low expectations. I know animations are expensive, so I kind of was like expecting them to not do it, and I was worried about that, but knowing they can run like this makes me feel a lot better. Look, I don't know why, but the toenail polish is like really amusing to me. I wonder if it's toenail polish or like actual claws. It looks like it's customizable, like it might be nail polish, but I don't know. Oh, it looks like that might be a new roof texture. I wonder if that's a real building though, because that could very easily be like a fake building in the town. They all look very similar, so it's very hard to tell which ones are like actual like visitable lots and which ones aren't. And there's like a bunker, it looks like, that she went into, so that must be one of the like secret tunnels you can use. I've been sitting here staring at this image for a while because there is so much to take in from this. Number 1, are we looking at this? That is a telescope, right? Is that gonna be a functional telescope? Because you know how we only have like the big giant observatory? Do you think that's like a real functional small telescope? Because if so, complete game changer. To me, that's probably the most exciting part about the pack. I'm also seeing a new computer. We've got a new bunk bed, a new really cute toddler bed. There's a desk, a lot of really interesting curtains and like wall decals and stuff. It seems like they've put a lot of effort into even like kids items in this pack, which is kind of surprising to me, but like in a good way, because I don't really expect kids stuff out of a werewolf pack, because I assume the kids probably won't have much gameplay, because like in The Sims 4, you aren't even a vampire as a child, but they don't show anything until they become a teen. So I'm really, really pleasantly surprised to see kids get like more effort put into it. There's also a lot of just like raw meat sitting out a lot, I've noticed in this trailer. In general, the build items are so interesting to me, because this is like such a different vibe from like the cutesy like moon themed kids items. And I don't really expect like a huge build mode going off of like how the past game packs have been, but I'm really curious to see like the full list of items, because I think that I like a lot of this stuff, not in like a, oh, I'm gonna use this every day kind of way, because I don't really have a use for like this punching bag that often, but it's definitely interesting. Okay, on the table, I'm seeing a sheep toy, a wolf toy, a fish, a raw steak, and some books. Okay. The chairs and table look pretty cool though. New bonfire, new fence. That's kind of creepy. The werewolf fight was pretty interesting too, I thought. Oh my god. Yeah, save that frame. Okay, very nice. Also, this part when the wolf like fell into the hole, I don't know what it was, but that part, it really gets me. Okay, wait. This is kind of cringe. Look at it. It's just like, he's just going like this and the guy's behind him. Okay. Also, this part, I don't know why, but it makes me uncomfortable. There is something about it that makes me uncomfortable. I'm kind of impressed they can do that, but I still think it's, I don't know. I don't know. I wonder how many of these wolves in the trailer are like actual townies we can play with. Like, is Greg in this photo? Please tell me. This bar looks pretty cool. I wonder what that is. Is that like maybe kind of similar to those items, like the booths that we get that sell food? Because it's not like a regular shaped build and isn't like a proper rectangle like you'd expect it to be. So I wonder if this is like an actual stand. Either way, I like this a lot. It looks really good. And that's the whole trailer. I have a lot of thoughts. I know I've been kind of like rambling to you this whole time, but full transparency, going into this, I was really worried. I really do not like the cover art. The wolf on the cover art art is weird to me. I think they look a lot better in game. The render just kind of like seemed off. So seeing that leak yesterday and then like waiting for this today, I was getting nervous. I think in general, the wolves still look a little bit more human than I was expecting them to, which is weird because in The Sims 3, they like actually looked like humans, just hairy ones. So this is like a really different vibe from The Sims 3, but I don't know which one I like better. I think just in general, I don't really like occult sims. Like, I'll probably use this pack a lot when it first comes out. I'll play through it. I'll probably have fun doing it. But I think after like the next couple months, I probably won't use this pack like ever again. I'm just thinking about how I've used vampires and spellcasters. Like, I never play with vampires. I never play with spellcasters. I use the items from those packs a lot and the cast from those packs a lot. Well, maybe not the vampire cast, but the spellcaster cast I use. But I don't play with like the actual vampire and spellcaster sims. And I just don't really see myself integrating werewolves into my regular gameplay. That's just not really how I play the game. So it's not like a diss on the werewolf pack or a diss on you if you like werewolves. It's just not really my thing. But I will say, I know a lot of you have really wanted this pack for a really long time. So I'm very excited for you for that reason. This has been like a huge request for years. And it's been a while since we got a new occult type. So it's kind of fun to have that too. I also think that I'm really glad they're doing the werewolf pack separately, like as its own game pack. There's always a lot of chatter about this because like in The Sims 3, they just had Supernatural and it had all of the occults together, like vampires, werewolves, fairies, all of that all in one pack. And in The Sims 4, they did like a spellcaster pack and a vampire pack and now a werewolf pack. And some people are kind of mad they were split up this way, thinking they're kind of like nickel and diming us. But I actually think it's better. Like, I think that trying to dedicate an entire game pack just to werewolves means they get their own world, they get their own lore, there's more time and effort put into them. They aren't like split up across like 4 different occults. It's all just focused on one. And I think we can all objectively agree, like vampires, for example, are a million times better in The Sims 4 than in The Sims 3. So I kind of expect the same from werewolves. And the pack comes out in 2 weeks, so I guess we'll find out soon, right? I'm actually so curious to hear your thoughts about this. I am fascinated to see what you all think about it. Because like I said, I won't lie, that cover art, I was getting like major Scooby-Doo vibes from it. And that is not a compliment, I'm sorry. But I do feel better seeing the trailer. It looks different in the trailer and that makes me feel a lot better about it. But yesterday, I was worried. I'm also gonna link the trailer and those 2 like official Sims blog posts down below if you want to see more from them. I didn't read the whole thing out loud, so if you want to go back and read it yourself, you probably should. And the other thing is that always on these trailer days, the Sim Gurus, like the official Sims team on Twitter, often drops other hints and like answers questions and stuff. So you might want to go follow some of them. I'm also gonna link my friend Sims Community's website down below because he usually posts like compilations of their tweet responses. So just stay tuned in the coming days for like future news about it. I won't always make a video like going over the Sims team's tweets because it's not always like video worthy. It's not like a ton of information, but if you've got more questions, they might get answered. So I'll link those websites down below too. I feel like I'm still kind of trying to decompress with this one. Normally after trailers, I feel a lot more excited, but I think deep down there's still a little bit of fear in my heart. Partially because of like the cover art, partially because of how like the wedding pack went over. Like our most recent game pack was a disaster, like a complete and total disaster. So I'm kind of nervous about this one for that reason too. But overall, I know a lot of you are excited. And also hopefully they can redeem themselves with this one. I'm really crossing my fingers that they can. And with that, I think I'm gonna end the video here. Stay tuned because as soon as we get more info or as soon as we get access to the pack, I will absolutely be playing it on here. Now, how can I force Stanley Humphrey to get rich with werewolves? That is the real question. And I suppose we will find out soon. And with that being said, I will catch you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody. I just love trailer day. It's always so much fun, like watching everybody get so excited and speculate and like go back over it frame by frame, trying to see stuff. It's fun.